I tried it once, matched me with my own wife. NSFW, people who signed up for those fuck a local MILF websites. What happened? Is there actually an abundance of local MILFs wanting to be fucked? So, obviously, they're fake. 100% just a scam to try and get your credit card info or charge you money for stuff. Sometimes you can get into the sites without entering information, but most will at some point end up trying to bribe you / won't let you continue without paying. As for the local MILFs, they're either robots which have a programmed conversation, which is really just a few questions and then, buy premium to meet with me, or someone who is really invested in getting you to click on the link they sent you so you can meet up and sexy time. Angie really isn't 8 miles away looking for big dick, just a guy with a fake website looking for some dummies. They will also use your email to hand out to other services who will spam you with how women with really unique names like Sarah, Jennifer, Laura, want to intercourse. So you now have a constant flow of sex telemarketing in your mailbox. There are actually real girls chatting with you on some sites. My ex-girlfriend did one of those live chat things for a while and showed me how it works. So you log into a site and you assume a fake girl profile with fake profile pictures and fake personal info. You get assigned several dudes you can chat with simultaneously. Before you got them assigned, other girls have already chatted with them. When you log in, you just have to continue the chat that other girls before you have started. You can see the chat log because you will have to continue the chat so that the dude doesn't suspect that you now are a different person. The point of all this is that you can work when you want. If you log off, another girl will take over. And if you log on, you take over from another girl. Every sentence must contain a minimum of words. So no short answers like yes, no or something like that. It has to be complete sentences. You get paid the more you write. If you do this a whole day, it's like the minimum wage. If you do this long enough, you will get a paid upgrade. The dude has no idea he is chatting with different girls, all who uphold a fake profile. The dude will ask for pictures of you and you have a gallery with nude pics of a random girl that you can send to him. He will also send pictures to you. The dude will continuously ask for a meetup, and the rules are that you, as the girl, must give vague answers like yeah, let's maybe meet up next week, and keep asking him questions. The goal here is to keep the dude in the chat as long as possible, for he is paying for every message. It's like telephone sex but in text form. As a cop, I can tell you, almost all women looking for sex sites are for prostitution. As a woman, I can tell you, we don't have to advertise on the internet. Seriously, no matter how old, fat, ugly you think a woman is, someone out there is ready to hit it. I mean, it's obvious they are fake. I live in a small town and know most people here don't recognize any of those hundreds of different local MILFs. They just redirect you to another site. Actually, I can say yes. This does work. You'd be surprised how many want to get out and get some action. What I learned though, is that the M is for male men. After plowing a good several of them, I realized this and requested a refund. I haven't because it's a scam. The ads always say they're 3 miles away. 3 miles from me in every direction is the sea, moorland or woodland, so unless the MILF in question is a mermaid I'd like to fuck or some kind of witch, then no. I clicked on one of those once in my younger years out of interest, and possibly desperation. Sadly, no local MILFs wanted to fuck that night. But I did meet a lovely MILF a few years later in a bar. Didn't end too great though, got kicked out as I was rounding third. I did hook up with a local MILF one time. But it was out of chance and it had nothing to do with those pages, neither any dating app. I just met her through some friends. The moral of the story is that there are local MILFs that want to fuck with younger guys. You just have to meet them in the wild. I feel quite accomplished. She had fake boobs and I gotta say, they're quite nice. Pretty soft even. 10/10. It was a little weird when I found out I was younger than her son, yeah. Yeah, so not my proudest moment, but here goes. I was deep into a jousting session one night and saw one of these ads. It was something along the lines of meet local mature women in your area. I figured there might actually be local MILFs in my area who want a young guy. Crazier things have happened. It took me to a sign-up page where I made a fake account with a made-up name and old email address I hadn't used for years. Once signed up, it showed a number of MILFs were online and wanted to chat. I proceeded to chat with them, but there were obviously bots/scripted and had an extremely dead chat. I've literally had better chat from the W302 bots at Drainer Willows, it was that bad. I then ran out of messages and had to buy a premium to continue chatting. I think it was a 5.99 one-off payment, which was probably a scam. A week ago I saw that kind of ad. When I was looking for a torrent. I signed up for it. They asked a couple of my personal information, name, last name, address, credit, debit card, security code, etc. And once I was done with applying, I received a mail says my local MILF will be at my place in 2 weeks. 1 week left, I'm excited and happy. If it's a real dating site, yeah. Slutty single moms are all about quick hookups. They don't have time for relationships, they work, take care of kids, sleep. They just need to get fucked every so often. God bless sluts. At one point the makers of those ads were using Google Street View images and automated photo manipulation to create convincing looking ads with actual houses located near your IP address. Creepy. I used to be one of those MILFs. A company hires people to respond to men's messages on fake profiles and you get 20 cents a message. Once made 100 1 week. Ended up stopping mostly due to my conscience. I had an adult friend finder account for a few months. I must say the site is pretty legit, but the issue is the people. I sent dozens and dozens of messages to a lot of different profiles and I rarely got a response. If you're single, it's very hard to find a fuck buddy or casual hookup. Most of the people on there are swingers and want to swap. I had the membership for about 8 months and deleted it after I just got so frustrated and annoyed that I didn't want to deal with it anymore. I know for sure that I had 2 hookups, maybe a third, but I can't remember. I did get to participate in a gangbang though, that was fun. Don't waste your time and energy unless you're a couple that swings. If you're single, just buy a nice pack of tube socks or just hire an escort. They always pop up for me. I'm 32, and live in the middle of nowhere. At first, I was always like, who are these ladies and why do they want to talk to me? Do they know me? How are they 2 miles away? I live in the countryside. I didn't think this kind of thing happened around here. Never any men ones? Shame. I worked at one of these companies, an online dating site with cougar in the name. I made the fake profiles. They made money of chat credits. The guys would be chatting with the cougar they thought was in their area, who was also chatting with 10 to 15 other guys at the same time thinking they were also in the same area. Most of the chatters were actually hot girls, but they were not in your area. The owner and another guy did some chatting at times, so you could have been talking to a dude if you ever went one of these sites. Ashley Madison is run very similar and based out of Canada. I tried to get a job with them before they had the big hack. Apparently, I'm a rarity. I once signed up for Snapshot for like $3 for a few day trials. I was young and horny. Not a joke, within an hour I started chatting with a girl. We met up the next day, fucked and didn't talk for like 3 weeks when we did it again. I canceled the membership because it was something like $40 per month, but I actually got to meet and fuck a horny local girl. So I recently tried one of those local girls ads and what I found was that to talk to any of them you have to buy coins. Once you buy coins their sole objective is to keep you talking. They will tell you how hot and interesting you are, but if you ever mention meeting up they just simply ignore your question. I saw right through the BS instantly. One of the greatest disappointments of my life was learning that there were actually no hot singles in my area who are dying to meet me. It was like learning for the second time, as an adult, that Santa Claus isn't real. As a 34-year-old, attractive, from what I've been told, childless woman who appreciates younger guys, I have a horrible time convincing the guys I match with on Tinder that I'm not a fake. It doesn't help that I'm kinky and prefer to show them my FetLife profile versus laying out all my kinks again and again for every one night stand. 3/4 of the time I get aha. Directing me to a website, I knew it. You think I'm just going to hand over my credit card info? I'm also very blunt and hate wasting time, so I tend to start messages with, hey, I'd love to meet up, are you free for sex tonight if we talk a bit and vibe? I've had to really alter my approach over time and prepare various ways to confirm my identity, FaceTime, sharing eccentricities of local landmarks, Without giving too much info out in case dude's a weirdo. I signed up for an adult friend finder when I was blackout drunk. I almost ended up hooking up with this married woman. Her husband is disabled and they have an arrangement. But he wanted to be in the room, so I bailed. The wall claims them all, and some think having sex makes them attractive to the point they lose all standards. It's not the websites, it's the women. Any middle-aged divorcee thinks she can still get laid as she did at 22, equating sex with self-esteem means everyone will get a turn. I tried it and actually got to meet up with one. It was a wild date and didn't end well, so buckle up. I took her out. It was a Friday night. I wore cologne to get the feeling right. We started making out, she took off my pants, but then I turned on the TV. That's about the time she walked away from me. Nobody likes you when you're 23. And I'm still more amused by TV shows. The good news is there are horny MILFs in your area. The bad news is the only place you'd find them online is Facebook. And they're not particularly horny on Facebook. My father signed up for these sites, being lonely and not understanding how the internet works. He had emails forever from multiple sites, older women, only certain races, etc. I had to go through and not only unsubscribe from those emails for him, but literally spent an hour on his phone getting rid of every one of the web pages, about 400 of them. I got this. In college, late an eve into bender, my not too sober friend signed up for one of these sites. It cost him like $50 for a year subscription. He let it go for about a week and got a solid 5 or so messages from people who appeared legit, got as far as texting a few before he thought WTF am I doing and cut his losses. It almost seemed more of a Mel Bigelow site disguised as a dating site, TBH. There was more than one instance of people insinuating payment. I still give him strife about me almost becoming his pimp to this day. My brother did put his credit card number in it, and guess what happened? 3 days later he called to ask for money. BC, he didn't know where all his money went. Well, he found out and told me. Moral of the story, there are no horny MILFs in your area waiting to be fucked. Thank you for watching Reddit Space. Please subscribe if you love these Reddit stories.